record, because I will send it out to people, and then we will also go live on Facebook, hopefully, and then I'll get some feedback. So right, so this is going on Facebook, I hope. So amazing. Yeah, there we go. Let me just let that load up. Sorry everybody, just making sure we don't get going on. There we go. How do I turn my volume down? Here we go. There we go. Here we are. Multitasking even. Everybody, I think you know who I am. I'm Chloe. I'm the founder of the B Plan. If you're watching in live on Facebook, hello. Please post your comments in the chat box. If it's on Facebook, drop it in the comment box below. I'll be checking both for Kim and sort of jotting down any questions you've got or things that you want to sort of express in the boxes, and then we can sort of have a bit of a Q&A at the end. But I'm going to literally hand over to Kim. We met, I think, in a lovely sort of empowering sort of networking group, and immediately when she said what she did, and bearing in mind, you know, with our capsules and what we do, how important nutrition is for mental health, and how many people I speak to daily really in regards to anxiety, mental well-being, positive mindset. And I definitely think, especially the last 2 years, I think it's been a really, really tough environment for people to be in, and being alone in their own thoughts, especially if you're working from home a lot. And when Kim explained what she did in terms of law of attraction, which I love and is something we talk about a lot in the B Plan within the business and the team, and Kim obviously is really passionate about well-being, and so we hit it off with nutrition and stuff. But I just really wanted her to come on and share what she knows, because she's a real expert in this field of positive vibes and feeling good about yourself. And so it's amazing, all of you, for coming on today. Thank you so much. Put a little comment in the box and say hi. And Kim, I'm just going to hand over to you. Please tell us more about you and how did all of this start for you?
Oh, okay. So thank you so much, Chloe. I'm really, really grateful to be here. Thank you so much for the invite. Lovely. Yeah, so how did all of this start? Can I just ask, actually, before we do start, has anybody here got any phobias, or have had any phobias at any time in their life? Anyone? Because people do get phobias. Lots of people have got different phobias. Yeah, spiders is a big one. I can see that. You know, of birds, of flying, of heights, there's all sorts of phobias that we can have. But the biggest phobia that I ever had in my whole life, I had this phobia of flies, tiny little house flies, any kind of flies. Okay, whether they're little midges, little mosquitoes, anything with wings. You know, I didn't like the noise. I was petrified from a child. I think it was because I'd seen one up close under the microscope in like primary school, and it just, the look of it just basically freaked me out, you know, with its eyes, like it's millions of eyes, and it's hairy, and it's got little spikes and a big trumpet for a nose, and what it does, it basically lands on anything deceased and eats it, then comes and lands on you. And you know what it does when it lands on you? It tastes you with its little feet. No, thank you. I am no way. That just freaked me out. No way to the flies. Okay, I was disgusted at flies. I was scared of flies. I just couldn't go into my bedroom as a child if there was a fly in my room. And I will never ever forget the evening when I was sitting at home on my own, having a lovely glass of red wine. Okay, we all do that, don't we? Sometimes have a nice glass of wine at home. And I was drinking this glass of red wine. Got down to the bottom of the glass. And then all of a sudden I found something spongy in my mouth. So I took it out and I looked at it and I put it under the lamp, and I couldn't make out what it was. It was actually a maggot. It was the devil's spawn in my mouth. My biggest ever life phobia. Okay, this was about 10 years ago. My biggest life phobia was in my mouth. Okay, what are the odds of that? Picking all of those bottles of wine, you know, taking one bottle of wine off the shelf and getting the one that has got the devil's spawn in the bottom of it. Okay, I couldn't even throw the rest of the wine away because I drank it all. But that was actually a good thing that happened to me just over 10 years ago, actually, because I had this massive drink problem. Okay. And I was drinking way too much wine. I was drinking way too much of absolutely everything. It was numbing my problems. I thought it was numbing my problems. It was numbing me, so I didn't have to basically deal with all the problems. Because basically, I crashed over 10 years ago, and I burned, and everything went wrong, and I lost my home. I lost absolutely everything. It was total chaos in my life, total chaos. And it was round about that time that I found out about the law of attraction. Has anyone heard of the law of attraction on here? Put your hands up if you have. Does anyone practice it in your daily lives? Do you think about it every single day, what it really actually means? Because it's a universal law of nature. We know that it's a universal law of nature, but it's not the only one. Have you heard of gravity? What goes up must come down. That's a universal law of nature as well. And there are over 50 universal laws of nature. But the ones that I talk about are the law of attraction and the law of vibration. But before I get onto that, we all know about that. I won't go too much into that. But basically, if I just tell you a little bit about me, just a little bit about me and my upbringing. So I remember at school, going to secondary school, being 12 years old. And I remember getting bullied by the biggest, loudest, angriest girl in our year. She was massive. Okay. She was really a big girl, and she targeted me because I was so quiet and shy. I was the quietest little mouse. And okay, I didn't have a voice. I was the quietest little person in the whole year. Okay. I wouldn't stand up for myself. I didn't really like myself. I just would hide. I wouldn't put my hand up in class to answer any questions because I was so shy. I was like really, really introvert. And I believe that that's why the bully targeted me at that time. So it lasted about a year, and it was actually not physical. It was actually mental. Okay, mental bullying. And I really do believe as well that at 12 years old, that was the start of my unconfidence that I took with me throughout my whole life, up until about 10 years ago when I discovered the law of attraction. Okay, so I'd never, ever speak up. And this was one of the problems why I went towards the drinking, because it was giving me a bit of Dutch courage when I was drinking. But that then became a problem because it was way too much. And I had absolutely no focus. I didn't know what I was doing, in my life before that, because all I could think about was drinking. So basically, I was in a marriage. I've got children. We had a big, massive mortgage, and I absolutely lost a lot. I didn't lose my children, fortunately. Okay, but it was a terrible time back then, and we went through a divorce, and there's a big story behind that, but I won't digress and go into that. But basically, I lost my home. I had this massive life crash, and as they say, hitting rock bottom was the solid foundation on which I started to rebuild my life. I think J.K. Rowling said that. Hitting rock bottom. And that's when I began to think, oh my God, I need to change. I need changes in my life, but I didn't have a clue how to change. So I started reading positive thinking books, because someone said to me, Kim, you've got to be more positive. I knew I had to be positive, but I did not know how to switch one thinking system into another thinking system. I didn't know how to switch from the negative to the positive, because my whole world was negative. I didn't know anything about positivity. So I started reading about it. And I found so many books. But the first thing I had to do was get off the drinking, because I couldn't even focus on a single sentence in any of the books. So I promised myself, oh my God, I've got to start, stopping this drinking. And I was gradually weaning myself off it. And it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy at all. And I was 3 stone heavier at that time as well. And it was just spiraling, and everything was just going out of control. So basically, I started reading all these positive thinking books, and they was all mentioning the law of attraction and the universe. Okay. And I really had to look into this. So I found myself a coach. And this coach her title was a positive empowerment coach. And the reason I found her is because I read her book. And the reason I chose her book is because she resembled my mum and my sister. So in essence, without even realizing, I chose that book, and that was a law of attraction. I chose the correct book because it resonated with me. It resonated with my energy. This coach taught me everything. Okay. She taught me about energy. We radiate energy. We're made up of energy. We're like radio stations. We radiate frequencies. And basically what we're giving out, we will attract back to ourselves, especially the way we're feeling. It's not always about the way we're thinking. It's our feelings as well. So this really opened me up, and it really got into my belief system. Really into my belief system. And if you want to study any more about your belief system, just look up Dr. Bruce Lipton. You might even know Dr. Bruce Lipton. Okay, he talks about the biology of belief, and he's got many YouTube channels, videos as well on his YouTube channel. His book was a little bit difficult to read. I found it a little bit easier on audio, and it was called The Biology of Belief. Okay, so he's a biologist and a speaker. And it basically really opened me up, because you get what you tell yourself, you get what you believe in, okay, and you get what you are focusing on. And I was focusing on, woe is me, everything goes wrong, I get all the bad luck. You know, that was my focus. That was my language, whether it was saying it to myself inside or speaking it aloud. Be careful what you're saying. Be careful of your words and your statements, because it comes back to you. Okay, so basically it's like we give ourselves instructions, and that freaked me out. And once I learned that, and once I understood about these keys and these codes to life, which are the universal laws of nature, once I understood that, my life started to change, and things started to happen, and things started to change in my life. I was like flabbergasted at some of the things that were changing. So I had to start writing it down, all these things that was happening to me. I started writing it all down. And basically back then, when I was going through my bad time as well, I had some mental issues, not mental illness. That's two different things. But my mental health wasn't right. I was scattered. I was all over the place. And as you know, if you're chaotic on the inside, it is going to reflect on your outside. So I had to really find ways to calm, you know, my chaotic life. And that's why I got myself this coach who taught me everything about the universal laws and how to handle, you know, your own inner self, basically, so you get better results on the outside. Because we are all the captains of our own ship. You are the captain of your ship. You're the driver of your bus. You're the one who makes the decisions. Okay, so I had to realize that as well. And focusing on mental health as well, it took me down the route of becoming a Samaritan. So now I also helping the Samaritans on the phone lines, talking to people who are not having a good time in life at the moment. And I've been doing that for 4 years. And it really opens your mind, and it really makes you want to really help as many people as you can once you understand. So basically, we're more than our mind. Yeah, your mind is just a tool to use. And the way we've been using this tool is a habit. And you control the habit. So I had to learn to control my own thoughts. I had to learn to control my own feelings, yeah, and my own statements. I had to become aware of what I was saying, thinking, doing, and feeling. And it wasn't easy in the beginning, but there are ways to do it. You know, there are tools and techniques that we can learn, because we can change our mindsets, because I'm proof of that. And that's why I do this now, because I help people to regain that inner spark of happiness, because we've got it inside, but sometimes things happen in life and we can lose it, and we can get it back. We can. You know, I help people to eliminate what could be holding them back. And I try to encourage people to move forward and think in a totally different way, because I know that people struggle. I know that people struggle with self-doubt, self-love, self-acceptance, and self-confidence, because that was me for 40 odd years. And if you want change in your life, You have to be mindful and you have to make changes. I had so many negative emotions, you know, I was getting negative results. So I really had to take a step back and look at myself and look at what kind of frequencies I was radiating. And as I said before, it was, I'm no good, I can't do this, it's not going to work out, it's not going to go my way, I'm bocked. You know, that was my kind of language, and I know it, I can just see it going wrong. That was the way I was thinking. I do really pick up on people's language, and I say to them, don't, you think it's a joke, but be careful what you keep saying to yourself, because what goes around comes around. It's such a true saying. It's like a form of karma. And I, believe me, I've had my karma in my life. I've had my butt kicked big time, and it hurt, but it opened me up and it changed me, and it made me realize, you know, what we do to ourselves, and it can be done. So I had so many negative emotions that they was just basically all holding me back. And when I say negative emotions, I'm talking about, I don't know whether you want to write these negative emotions down. If you want to get a piece of paper and put a line down the middle, on one side write your negative emotions, and on the other side write your positive emotions. Okay, now I'm going to suggest a few, but it's up to you if you want to play this game afterwards and try and think of any more, because we really do have to become aware of the kind of negative emotions that we keep on having. Now, I'm not saying we can't have negative emotions, because we're human and we're allowed to express and we're allowed to feel all different kinds of emotions in this world, like in this life, because that's why we're here, to experience all of it. But what I'm saying is, it wouldn't be a good idea to keep on hanging on to negative emotions like hatred. Yeah, I had so much hatred. It was unreal. I hated my ex-partners. I hated where I was living. I hated my car. I hated my jobs. I hated everything. And I would express that. And I was angry. Anger is another negative emotion. And yeah, we're allowed to get angry, but just don't hold on to it, because we are creatures of habit. Yeah. And we control the habits. I had so much anger. I was angry at everything and everyone, but in reality, I was angry at myself. You know, at the end of the day, for choosing what I chose, because we're all 100% responsible for our own lives and what we attract into it. And some people will say, oh, I didn't attract this, I didn't attract that, right? But thinking back, looking at my own life, I attracted everything that come into my life, because I made all of those choices. So it's about being 100% responsible for your own self. So some of the negative emotions, worry. Worry is a big negative emotion, and that's not going to change anything. When we start worrying about things, it's not going to change nothing. It's another negative emotion. Fear. We fear things. We fear things that might or might not happen. We might fear things because we're putting those thoughts and those stories and those pictures in our heads that have not even happened yet. So it's having that awareness, you know, resentment. Resenting other people, that's not nice, that's not fair. Is it? Jealousy, that's not nice, that's not fair, being jealous of other people. Okay, wish them well. Whatever they've got, whatever you're jealous of, whatever they've got, they've flipping worked hard for that. So wish them well, because what goes around comes around. So I had to drop all of these negative emotions, you know, like shame. I've had shame in my life. I've done things that I'm not proud of. I hold my hands up to it. I had to deal with that and let it go. You know, I'm feeling guilty about things, another negative emotion. I'm getting revenge on people. Revenge. That's a tennis match. That's going to keep on coming backwards and forwards a million times. You know, it's like all this stuff that I had to let go of. And if you can think of any other negative emotions that you might think you hold on to, it's a good idea to really try and replace them with, on the other side of the line, on the other side of the page, with some positive emotions like love. Okay, it might seem airy fairy and all, you know, poncy or fluffy, all lovey-dovey and all that. But that's why we're born. Babies are born to be loved. Do you think it feels good? Does it feel good to you when you're loved? Or when you're being loving towards anything, towards anyone? It's a feel-good factor. When you've got the negative emotions, what frequencies do you think that we're radiating? When we've got negative emotions, we're radiating at a very low frequency, which is going to attract more things that are low frequency. That slapped me in the face when I realized that. So I had to really work on myself and focus on being more loving, you know, feeling happier, finding ways to feel happier, to feel at peace, to get myself in a peaceful state. We all know about feeling grateful. It's a positive emotion, you know, to feel grateful. It's a fantastic feeling. Being kind, a positive emotion. Feeling enthusiastic, yeah, and optimistic, and finding ways to help ourselves with all the positive emotions, like feeling joyful and generous, you know, and excited. So if you can add to any more of these positive emotions, it's going to serve us more to keep our frequencies at a higher level, because you know about the law of attraction. Yeah. And when we're at a higher level, because we're feeling all of these positive emotions, guess what you're going to attract? You're going to attract all the good stuff. And I've got some brilliant stories that is probably another talk. I've got some brilliant stories that I could tell you all about the things that I've attracted to myself when I've worked on myself and when I've raised my vibration. Okay. Because what we need to do is we need to ask ourselves some questions. You know, what are you can write these questions down and answer them in your own time. What are you mainly focusing on? What are you mainly focusing on? What do you think you're attracting to yourself? Have you noticed that you're attracting certain things to yourself? And are you holding on to any of the negative emotions? We need to ask ourselves these questions so that we get this awareness. And that's the key. Having the awareness of, you know, how we are thinking. That is the key, because sometimes it's on such like an automatic way of thinking. We don't even know we're saying it. We don't even know we're doing it because it's too automatic. So we have to have the awareness of what we're saying to ourselves, even if it's on the inside. Okay. And as I said, my old language, bad luck, don't get anywhere. It don't go right for me. I'm never going to get anywhere. Oh, I can see it going wrong. Yeah. So that had to stop. And I had to switch that language around to saying things like, it's all rigged in my favour. It all goes my way. I know it's going to go right. Everything's brilliant in my life. When you wake up in the morning, today's going to be a brilliant day. You know, we get what we tell ourselves. We get what we are focusing on and what we are saying. Yeah. But remember, we're giving ourselves instructions. And when I started to work on my vibes, yeah, you know, that saying that you just seen too much of, raise your vibes, high vibes, high vibes. Yeah, it can be annoying, but you're going to get much better results when you raise your vibrations with all those positive emotions that you wrote down. Okay, because when I started to do it, I started to attract some brilliant people to myself, events, scenarios, opportunities, because I was working on my vibration and I had to write about it. So when I did start to work on myself, I'll tell you a few little scenarios of what I did attract to myself. I love drawing and painting, okay, and I also love animals. They're my main things in life, okay, other than trying to work on myself to raise my vibes, okay, which, by the way, is a daily process. And by the way, also, I'm not totally 1,000,000% on top of the world 24/7 happy all of the time, because I don't think that's physically possible. All right. But it is a good idea every day to work on our happiness and trying to get ourselves into our good mood. And Chloe, bless Chloe for knowing that nutrition is a top #1 priority for helping you to feel good. And we all know that. Okay. So the food that we put into our bodies is so true. It's so true. That's going to help with our moods big time. So once I understood about the vibrations, I started to attract some great people to myself. Okay. Would you believe that my friend gave me her horse? I didn't buy it. I didn't ask for it. Okay. But there's a story behind it. Okay. And I'm going to write about it in my second book. But she gave me her horse because I commented on her horse one day on Facebook. Okay. And I said, oh, he's lovely, because I love horses, love animals. And she said, come down the stables. Well, I was going down them stables for 3 months every weekend. Okay. And I was elated. I was excited all week because I knew I was going to the stables at the weekend. And I couldn't, oh my God, it was the best thing ever. I'd wanted a horse forever, but no one ever got me one. All right. After being down there for 3 months, she got pregnant, the girl. She got pregnant, okay, the young girl. And she said, Kim, you're down here all the time. She went, I can't afford him because I'm going to have a baby. Do you want him? Would you think I was happy? I was like, oh my God, my jaw hit the floor, okay? Fancy someone giving you a horse. Now, you can't make this stuff up, okay? And I wrote about it in my second book, right? It just freaked me out. And I thought, oh my God, this law of attraction stuff actually flipping works. It actually works. That was one of the biggest eye-openers, other than attracting small things over time. Oh my God, I'd now attracted a horse. Okay, so that's one story. Another little story is I wanted to be an author as well. So, and also an illustrator as well. And it was like, yeah, but it's just something you think about. It's just something you wish for. Okay, so several years ago, I've always been going business networking because that's where I met lovely Chloe. And I met a lady who had, she was a children's author, but she didn't have an illustrator. Okay, so we got talking, I got to know her over, quite a time. And I'm proud to say that now I'm the illustrator of 12 children's books. Okay, so this is making things happen. When you've got that positive mindset and you believe in yourself and you take the action steps, you can make things happen. Okay, so we've got 12 books. Another law of attraction story. I thought, oh my God, it happened. It happened. So as I said before, I started writing my own personal journey, which wasn't even going to be a book. It was personal and it was my therapy. I was writing everything down. I was writing about my whole life, and it was personal, really personal, because I was letting out all my dirty washing. I was putting all my dirty laundry out on the pages, and it turned into a book. It got edited, but it's turned into a book, and I'm an author as well. Okay, so this is on Amazon. It's called Out of the Shadows, because I at one time in my life, twice in my life actually, I was a goth and a punk and a metaler, and I basically had to change from black. My sea of black, my wardrobe was jet black. I had to change. Okay, and now I'm all fluffy and pink. So it's a big turnaround, and it's a big change, and it can be done. So basically, if you want to move forward, would you be interested in any freebies? Because my freebies is I've got a free PDF on my website, which is just kimwymer.com. If that's okay with Chloe afterwards, maybe I could put my link to my website underneath, kimwymer.com, and a little pink box will pop up and you get a free PDF download, like a little ebook, which helps with overcoming self-doubt and gaining more self-confidence, because I had none, absolutely none, and it can be done. We can change our mindsets around. And also I've got a YouTube channel as well, where I give a lot of free advice, and I make lots of videos, and I'm trying to grow my YouTube videos, my YouTube channel as well. So that's totally free to subscribe to that. And I'm popping out videos all the time, giving advice, giving tips, and it's all about positivity. I've also got a Facebook group called Positive Empowerment for a High Vibration. I could pop that, all my links are under my YouTube videos anyway. Every single link of mine is under the YouTube video. And I also give a free half-an-hour discovery call for anyone who wants to, you know, chat further after this. So basically, going back to our vibrations, I'm thinking about time now as well, and questions. But this is why I've got this t-shirt on, Linda, because me and you have got the same colour t-shirt on. But the highest vibration that we can ever radiate is love. Look at my t-shirt. Love is here to stay, okay? And it's not fluffy, okay? Because emotional healing starts with self-acceptance, okay? And I could not accept myself as a person. I didn't like myself, okay? Self-doubt, no self-acceptance, no, you know, I just didn't really, you know, like myself at all. But once you start to love and accept yourself, okay, even in the beginning, I found it difficult. Yeah, I had to like myself in the beginning because I didn't. Once you start to like and love yourself and accept yourself as a beautiful person, I'm not talking about vanity. I'm talking about, look how miraculous you are. You're made up of all those trillions of cells. You've got that, you know, all of that immune system. You've got all of those organs. You've got everything. It's absolutely miraculous. And that's what I'm talking about. Look at you. You're amazing. We have to love that. Okay, we have to accept. It's not about what we look like, because we can't help what we look like, because our parents made us look like that. We can't help that. You know, we have to accept ourselves as immaculate beings, basically, of love, because that's why we're here, to love. Okay, and once you do love and like yourself, it's a lot easier to give out love to other people, because you're happy within yourself. You don't care what people think of you when you love and accept yourself. You do not care. And that helps with self-confidence as well. Once you don't care what people think, because you're all right with yourself, it gives you more confidence. So helpful. And lastly, I just want to finish off, ladies, with guess what I love now? I love flies. Because if it wasn't for the flies, in the beginning, I would never have been on this journey in the first place. So they help me on this journey of positivity. So give out as much love as you can. You know, I'm on a heart-led mission to expand positivity, love, and high vibes. So we need to give that stuff out, because that's exactly what the planet needs. So I've been Kim Wymer. Thank you for listening.
Oh, Kim, it's lovely. It's so, I've been smiling the whole way through. And then at one point I was like looking at, like, I looked up law of attraction and some quotes and stuff. I was like, really, it's been really inspiring. I've written notes, I've done my columns. It was just really interesting. And whilst I was writing, I don't know if anybody else wrote the columns down, but when you were going through the negativity, I've written a few anyway. And I felt, as you were saying them and as I was writing them, just this heaviness and really like a bit down and a bit, yeah, that's kind of how I feel at times. And then the positive ones, as I was writing them, I was smiling and I felt myself lift up. And it's so true, because, you know, in doing what we do in the B plan and stuff, they talk a lot about law of attraction and positive mindset. And it's something that we recognize as a key pillar of well-being, is your mind and what you feed it. But somebody was telling me that the subconscious brain will always look to prove you right. So if you're saying, oh, I've got a hard life, my life's so hard, I hate this, your brain's like, right, okay, I must prove her right, So it goes out looking for all those messages to tell you that your life is hard, that it's negative, that it's not good. And I keep trying to teach my eldest son this, because he really struggles with self-esteem as part of his learning delays and things like that. And he's so negative to himself. And I'm like, you've got to think positive things, because your brain will constantly try to verify that you're correct. And so this whole law of attraction is so powerful, those little messages. Even if, oh, you know, my skin's crap, then every day you'll look, oh yeah, still not great, it's still not. If you can say, God, actually, you know, I look amazing for my age, I look amazing. It's that message, and it's that affirmations, telling yourself these positive messages. So basically everything you say is just really, yeah, it gives me goosebumps. And I really hope everyone's taken value from that tonight, because we're so easy to say negative things to ourselves. And I always remember as well somebody saying, never say to yourself what you wouldn't say to your 5-year-old child. Would you say to your child that you're ugly, that you're stupid, that you're not worthy, that, you know, you're bad at this, you're bad? No, you wouldn't. You'd boost them up with confidence, but we do it to ourselves. We're our own worst enemy so often. It's really interesting just to do the columns, and how it makes you feel just writing positive words. And why don't we say that to ourselves, you know?
It's true. It's having that awareness, isn't it, Chloe? It is. And I mean, you said about the subconscious mind. Of course, it's the subconscious mind as well. But I also sometimes say the universe will say yes to you every time. So whatever you're saying, it's going to go, yes, have more of that, have more of that. Yes, you're right, have more of that. It's saying yes to you all the time, whether it's negative or positive. So yeah, it is an eye-opener. And yeah, how would you speak to your friend if you wanted to give your friend some, you know, help them out because they're having a bad time? So we need to talk to ourselves how we would talk to our friends to help them out. It's so important because we are worth it, because we are miraculous. It's a journey, and we don't know how long we've got. It's a journey, so we need to make the most every day.
Yeah. Oh, Kim. So Susie's saying it's really inspiring. Ali said, I love that. Thanks, Kim. Helen, love this. So true. Been the same through life, often been told the negatives, you know, working on it massively. And I think, you know, everyone that's come on tonight and people that hopefully will get the recording, you know, I think it's such an important message that you're giving. So a couple of things. One, you mentioned Lipton. What was the book? Because I did have a little look on Amazon. I've put one in the basket. I want to make sure it's the right one. And somebody else asked which one it is.
Yeah. Well, the book is, I'm not saying it's easy to read, okay, because it's quite scientific, but it's called The Biology of Belief. And it really helps you to understand about our belief systems. The audio was easier, but he's also got lots of videos on YouTube. Amazing. Bruce Lipton. Yeah.
So on Amazon, I've just found it, The Biology of Belief, Dr. Bruce Lipton. 3,500 5-star reviews. So
yeah, there you go.
There you go.
He's been lecturing this stuff for like over 25 years. He's a lecturer. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. It's big stuff. And also then, Kim, so you do a half an hour discovery call. So obviously we'll post it in the group, but what's the best way for somebody to reach out to you after this call and say thank you, or can I jump on a quick call with you? Because even when you were talking to me, and I was thinking, I think maybe I need a bit, you know, we all need it, especially after the last 2 years. And, you know, some of us on the call, you know, we run our own businesses. It's very easy to get down a little rabbit warren. It's like Alice in Wonderland. You open a door and before you know it, you're free falling. And it's quite easy to lose a bit of track with your positive vibrations and that enthusiasm you talked about. I think when you said about the energy, and I talk about this a lot with my business partner, Jeff, because he's very into this stuff. And he said the whole vibration of the universe is low right now. It feels, and people say, I think the best word is heavy. There's a heaviness out there at the moment. And I think that natural optimism, enthusiasm, excitement for life, you know, we can't just book stuff. We can't just go wherever we want to go. It's been quite heavy. And I think a lot of people would love a little discovery call with you and to hear what you offer as a service, as a package to people, you know, working with people on all different levels.
Yeah, so I've got an email address. It's on the YouTube channel. It's on the website as well. So when I can pop my links in, it'll be there. And it's just my name, kimwymer.com.
That's
info@kimwymer.com is the email. Just, you know, I'm really friendly. I'm easily approachable. I do offer as well, you know, percentages off as well off my coaching. So sometimes I've got like little deals going on. So yeah, I'd be happy to talk if anyone wants to talk. We just have a little half-hour chat. It's just a friendly chat.
Amazing. Right, I'm putting that in quickly now, the info at so for people. And yeah, Kim, just to say, like, thank you so much. And I always think it's so fascinating not interviewing, but having these guest speakers talk for us, because for everybody to be on a journey. So for my health journey, it started with me, and for you to be a coach and to be able to speak to people, you've been there and done it. You know, and I think that's how, you know, anybody who's in a vocation driven by passion and a desire to help other people, it's because it's so passionate to you, because it's helped you so much. And that really comes through, you know, with everything you said today.
Right. Oh, bless you. Thank you, Chloe. I feel really grateful for you inviting me. So thank you for everyone listening too. It's lovely to see you all. Thank you.
And we can come into your Facebook group and check it out and see your posts and things and what you're doing there.
Yeah. I mostly do videos for YouTube, and I've got quite a few going on now. So.
Amazing. Oh, okay. Oh, well, thank you so much, Kim. And please do go into the Facebook Live afterwards, Kim. Just pop all your details in. That'd be amazing. Links to the YouTube channel, and we can and then I'll send an email out to people. But thank you so much. And thanks to everyone that came on tonight, because we've had lots of viewers and it's been great. But just a massive thanks to you, Kim. It's just been a lovely way to spend a Wednesday, the hump day of the week.
Yeah, I was going to say that. Okay.
Yeah, and hopefully
one day, ladies, you'll all be waking up on a Monday morning and not even knowing it's Monday, because you'll be feeling good. It doesn't matter what day it is. It's a day. It's a day that you should be grateful that you're still here enjoying yourself. That's what it is.
Amazing. Thank you so much. Thanks, Kim.
All right, you
Love
take care.
you.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm grateful for you, Kim. Grateful for
Lots
you.
of love you all. Send out that love to everyone.
Thank you, darling. Cheers. Lots of love, guys. Bye.
Thanks.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye.